posting pretty much daily content, daily NBA content, and we're on the road to 400, and you can be a part of that. But let's get right into it. I expect my Hornets to be top 20, I'd hope. If we're not, that's okay, I guess. 30, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Expected. I don't know what they're doing this year. I mean, Cat's been out with an injury and COVID, and D'Lo's been out with an injury. And they have not put it together, and they have not put it together. They have not put it together for the last few seasons, which is kind of disappointing, especially for T-Wolves fans. And I expect Malik Beasley to be traded at the deadline. I did not mention in my last video. He's kind of a dark horse candidate to be traded, but I do expect him to be traded. 29, we have the Houston Rockets, which is rough because after the James Harden trade, they went on like a 7-game win streak, and now they're on a 13-game losing streak, and it's not looking good. I mean, John Wall hasn't been terrible to his credit. Victor Oladipo is probably going to be traded to Miami. If not, he's gone and off your team by the NBA offseason. But it's looking rough for them. Obviously, Christian Wood has been out, so that kind of contributes to their losing. But yeah, the 29 makes sense. 28, Orlando Magic. I do expect Vucevic to get traded. I think they're going to tank for this season if he does get traded. I mean, next year's team is going to be pretty good for them. They got Markelle coming back, John Isaac coming back. I think Cole Anthony's going to come back at some point this year. So they should be still decent if they do try to trade away Nikola Vucevic. 27, Detroit Pistons. I expect Jeremy Grant to get traded as well. I think they both understand that they're not doing anything here in Detroit, and he can contribute to a better team, and they can get a lot of good picks for him because he's been solid for them. So yeah, 27 also makes sense. Cleveland Cavaliers. I thought it said Charlotte for a second, and I was about to get upset. Cavaliers, yeah, they started out the season really nice. They were in that big trade package for James Harden. They got a good piece back, so I respect that trade because they got Jared Allen back, and it's all about what they can get. If they can get anything for Andre Drummond, today there was an article about the Lakers wanting him. Which, if he's a buyout candidate, they can get. But obviously, if he's not a buyout candidate, they aren't going to be in those trade talks. 25, Sacramento Kings. They got a few bright spots, so I'm not knocking them on being 25th right now. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton has been really nice for him. De'Aaron Fox, solid. He wasn't snubbed for the. I hate when people say snub for the All-Star game because who are you going to replace out? If you're putting De'Aaron Fox in there. Next, OKC Thunder is super. I was about to say, I expected them to be from like 30 to 25 range, but they've been exceeding expectations. I mean, in this article they talk about Shea, and Shea's been amazing for them, guys. I don't think many people realize that to be this young in his third season in the NBA, averaging 23 points a game, to have this crazy efficiency come with it. I mean, it's one thing to score a bunch of points like Trae Young did in his first few like years in the league, but Shea has been doing the same thing but on crazy efficiency. And they've been super good. Next team that maybe has had lowered the expectations is the Pelicans. You got a bright spot in Zion, so I mean, if you can build around him for the next few years, you guys should be fine. Brandon Ingram's cool. And if you guys can get anything for JJ Redick at the deadline, that'd be awesome for you guys. Atlanta Hawks, talking about lower expectations this year. I expected them to be really good, guys, and they have not turned out to be really good. I expected it. I obviously didn't expect it at the start of the year, but I mean, with all the things with COVID that they've been through, with all the injuries, I mean, how many games has Rajon Rondo actually played? And he was looked at as a huge signing for you guys. So if they can actually have everybody healthy, and actually playing. I think they'll be fine. They fired their coach, which I did not really agree with because not everybody's been playing. Next team, the Wizards. They started out the year probably the worst team in the NBA. I mean, you had Bradley Beal trade rumors for the first how many weeks, and they've turned it around. They won, I don't know how many straight, but they were on a winning streak going into the NBA All-Star break, and they've been fine. I mean, Russell Westbrook is fine. Bradley Beal is a superstar. Not much else to say there. Chicago Bulls have been nice as well. Zach LaVine getting his name out there, and he's been turning into more of a playmaker this season than he has been, especially in the T-Wolves days. But yeah, they've been pretty good. I see in this article they need marketing to stay healthy. I do agree with that because he's been out for a little bit. And if they can get him back in the second half of the season, that'd be really solid for them. Pacers, their record doesn't show. Oh, Siri went off for me. Their record doesn't show it, but they've been okay. I mean, I think they have a losing record right now, which is kind of crazy, and they're behind my Charlotte Hornets, which are top 20 right now. Which is pretty nice. But the Pacers are fine. I expect them to be okay. And we are above. I did expect this too. We are above the Memphis Grizzlies as well. I like it. They've been fine. I mean, Ja has been kind of underperforming for many NBA fans' expectations. I mean, they expected him to be this basically what Zion is this year, and he hasn't been. But I don't doubt that he'll get back on track in no time. I mean, talking about getting back in the swing of things, Curry from sitting out last year, he probably didn't have to sit out the whole season, but they were tanking, so, I mean, why not? But he's been amazing. I mean, he let everybody know that he was still the greatest shooter in the world that I've ever seen this weekend at the All-Star weekend. So, yeah. We do have Charlotte Hornets number 16. We are so close to the top half of the league, but we sit at 16. What do they have to say? We got talking about Terry Rozier's threes. He's been solid in that. LaMelo, obviously the front runner for Rookie of the Year. Malik Monk finally tapping into his potential. I wouldn't go that far, guys. I guess his potential. I mean, he's been doing this. He's been scoring at a high level. It's not really that efficient. He doesn't really defend. But he did this last year too, so I don't know if this is tapping into his potential. PJ Washington having a strong sophomore season. Yeah, he's averaging the same numbers, but he had that 42.9, so you can see what he can do. And right here we got Miles Bridges, great running mate for Ball off the bench. I do agree with that. His defense really stepped up this year, and that's what we love to see. Toronto Raptors, are they better than the Charlotte Hornets as of right now? Maybe. Maybe. I think they sit below us in the standings as of right now. They might be ahead. I'm not sure. But yeah. They're probably going to deal away Kyle Lowry, which is kind of sad because I saw him as a lifer, and I referenced it in my last video that I did see him as a lifer, and it's kind of tough, but they do have Freddie to replace him, so it's not the worst thing in the world. They can probably get something good from the 76ers if they want him. The 76ers are in all the talks this year about players. Miami Heat, we got number 14. Started off the season really rough. They didn't have Jimmy Butler. They didn't have Bam. They were playing that Max Strauss guy for like major minutes. And he wasn't bad. Like looking back on it, he could have been way worse. But yeah, they've been better as of late. They got all their guys healthy. No one's out due to COVID. So yeah, I'm a big Duncan Robinson supporter. So I like to see the Miami Heat do good. Boston Celtics at 13. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe what they're doing right now. But if you're looking at the whole first half of the season, they have underperformed, guys. And they should get a third piece. They should trade away Kemba and get someone that can actually shoot efficiently for an entire game, for an entire stretch of games. I mean, Kemba was doing fine like a couple games before the All-Star break, but I don't know if he can do that in the second half of the season, like really efficiently and be consistent for you guys. So I think you should pick up someone like a Nikola Vucevic or I don't know if they're getting Bradley Beal guys, but they should pick up someone to help them, because I do think this is their year if they want to do something, because they've been standoffish and just using their draft picks, and their draft picks haven't really turned out to anything. Number 12, Dallas Mavericks, another team that, you know, hasn't met their expectations, so I don't know why they're this high. Their standings obviously don't show that they should be this high, so I don't know why they're above teams like the Miami Heat, even us. I would say that we had a better first half of the season than the Dallas Mavericks. They got Luka, obviously, which is fine. The New York Knicks sitting at 11th in the NBA power rankings, which is crazy. Julius Randle's been really good for them. And yeah, they're one of those dark horse teams that nobody thought that they could be a top 5 team in the East. Portland Trail Blazers, they're always sitting at like these standings, so I don't give it much like thought that they're sitting right here. Dame's been good. CJ's been out. I think they could be higher this year if CJ was back in and if he was healthy, but it's not the case. The Spurs, man. I don't know if they deserve to be above Portland, but wow. DeMar DeRozan should have made it over Mike Conley. I mean, you could see in All-Star Weekend that, you know, the NBA was really wanting to bring home that story of Mike Conley making his first All-Star game, and they accomplished that. But I mean, DeMar obviously deserved it over Mike Conley. Like that's not even a question. Look at their stats. Look at their stats. Look at their efficiency. The only case you can make is that the Jazz are number 1 in the West. But just as the Jazz exceeded their expectations, the Spurs exceeded their expectations. So you can't really make that argument. But Jazz fans, in the comment section. Next we got number 8 Clippers. That's kind of low for them. I mean, they got 2 really good guys, and that's pretty much all you need. Denver Nuggets for 7. I haven't really heard that much about the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, Jokic is having a top 5 player in the NBA type season. I wouldn't call him the MVP by any stretch, because a team that we haven't even seen yet, the 76ers, got Joel Embiid, and he's a problem. But Jokic, it's been really good. Jamal Murray, I haven't heard much of. We got Michael Porter Jr. They say that he's stepped up. I expected him to even be better than 18 points a game based on what we saw in the bubble. We got 6 for the Lakers. I mean, they did go 3-7 over the last 10 coming into this, so it is a power ranking. It's not like a whole what do you think they're going to be, but that seems kind of low. And AD's out, so I kind of understand it. Number 5, we got the Bucks. I need Drew Holiday. This is if you guys don't know, this is my second favorite team in the NBA. I need Drew Holiday to step up, guys. He coming in, we gave up a lot for him. I don't think people understand how many trade swaps that the Bucks gave up for him, but I mean, come on, man. Like, if they want to be in championship contention, Drew Holiday needs to step up. There's no other way to say it. Utah Jazz at 4. Utah Jazz fans are going to be mad, man. Number 1 team in the West. They got 3 All-Stars, 2 real All-Stars. I wouldn't say Mike Conley is a true All-Star, even though it says it. I don't know why they dropped from last week. But anyways, let's see who's above them. 76ers, obviously. Ben Simmons has been great. People always hate on Ben Simmons. I mean, come on, guys. He is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He was just in the All-Star game. Joel Embiid is an MVP caliber performance. Just the other day, Tobias Harris is stepped up this year. If they can get a guy like JJ Redick, I would put him top 2 in the league. Suns. I like the Suns team this year. A lot of people sleep on the Suns. I like them this year, guys. I mean, Devin Booker is a bucket. Chris Paul, a bucket. They just got those two main guys, and then a lot of guys who just know how to play their role, and that's how you win a championship. Brooklyn Nets obviously at 1. They just got Blake Griffin, guys. They just got Blake Griffin. It's insane. I didn't make a video about it, but we have to see what he actually can do. Are you getting 2018 Blake Griffin, where he was a top 15 player, an all NBA player, or are you getting 2021 Blake Griffin, where he is not dunking and he can't do anything but stand in the corner and be a PJ Tucker? But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. What were we, 16th, right? Yep. If we can get up to 1 by the end of the season, that'll be great. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.